fighters from bare hands to toxic. You're an average warrior, I be the master. I can teach you how to fight and move faster. One false move, kid, that be disaster. I beat you endless and continue the day after. Street Fighter 3, that's right, the third chapter. This game's for real, no lies or no actors. Pick your character, don't wanna represent your life. You stomping anybody, so make your choice right.
Select to make your first pick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Choose and pick the best one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Select to make your first.
Oh boy, there might be undertones to that most of you may not have realized. Shit's about to get crazy. Oh, there may be all kinds of weird little undertones to that, given what our topic is today. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the newsroom and welcome to the Goutopian News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. This is the Snort Report brought to you by SnortBucks Coffee Company, the best beverage company ever. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to be talking about, apparently, DSP felt the need to call LTG out on his name again, which is something that DSP has done quite a bit as of late. I'm recording this in mid-September. Excuse me. I'm recording this in mid-September. So it should have been a pretty decent month as it pertains to content and whatnot that's been put out. But DSP has dropped some gems. But this is back from August. And I think DSP actually made the allegation of calling LTG gay, which is hilarious because if you really think about it, DSP has done everything LTG has asked him to do for the most part. And then if we fast forward to where we're at currently with DSP's workout segment or whatever, the DSP is getting right for LTG workout tapes, if you will. Let's actually hold off on that for just a second and move into my favorite segment. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully your favorite segment as well. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my TED Talk. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Holy shit. Okay, so, excuse me. So DSP decides to call LTG to speak on LTG again, and he also called him gay. Now, the thing about LTG is really, really interesting in that despite some of the things that LTG has said to DSP, which is really just stuff that detractors, trolls, haters, and critics have said before him, DSP has been far more receptive to LTG while still continuing to chase his ass down. Now, there's a bunch of reasons for this, to be honest with you. I think I think DSP has a level of admiration for LTG. I think he's jealous of him. I think he's pissed off or upset that LTG is not more receptive to him. He may even feel scorned in a certain type of way. I don't know. There's a lot of weird tension coming out of this situation, mainly on DSP's side. And what makes it even more evident, if you will, that there is something further to this, something more underlying, is the fact that everything that LTG told DSP to do over the last couple years, DSP did it. He told him to build up on his setup. He said, you know, try to put everything together to get a better stream. So what did DSP do? He prostituted himself off to Kino Casino so he could get the money together so he could do that. DSP in our current timeline is talking about how, oh, he's trying to get himself in better shape. He's losing weight. He's got the compression vest, aka the Gouty girdle, male girdle, if you will, to, you know what I'm saying, keep, you know, press his tits closer up and get that gut all tighten up and shit. All kinds of weird shit, to be honest with you. And this whole, he's starting to feel pumped and bodybuilding and all this bullshit. It's all clearly for LTG. Yes, I will contest to the fact that it's nothing that detractors, trolls, haters, and critics haven't shitted on DSP about over the years, over many years. To be honest with you, the noodle arms and all the other, and just the poor health and all of that bullshit. But it's really LTG who's really kind of pushing that narrative, if you will, or he's the one, I should say, who has really gained strides. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, the wall was built, right? Like, the wall was built by the detractors, trolls, haters, and critics. But it was really LTG standing on that wall and saying, hey, you're a fuckboy, you're in bad shape, why would I bring myself down to your level? You need to get somehow, some way, raise up to my level. is what's actually prompting this. Now, granted, DSP is never going to bench press that 300. Jesus Christ. Dude, I don't think DSP could. Actually, I know. DSP wouldn't be able to bench press 200, let alone 315, 330, whatever it is that LTG is asking him to do. So we can get that all the way out there. But I think what DSP is trying to do is get the A for effort. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I went ahead and I improved my streams. Hey, I've improved my dress and how I present myself on stream, which obviously both the first and the second one didn't even really happen. Hey, I'm trying to get myself in better shape or whatever. I'm making these strides, right? You should now be more receptive to doing content with me. And LTG is not going to do that, because at the end of the day, it's still a shortcut. It's still DSP doing just the bare minimum to get what he wants, because that's what he's used to doing. That's what most lol cows are used to doing. And I still don't think LTG is going to be receptive to it. But what I do think is, I think LTG will continue to put more demands on him, and I think DSP will do them, to be honest, because I think DSP sees the prize, the pot of gold, whatever you want to call it. I think he sees that being far more lucrative, and it'll be worth it. Now, keep in mind, we get into what exactly is DSP chasing LTG for? What makes him any different than anybody else? And I'll try to keep this brief, even though it's not something that I really do. He's chasing a bunch of different stuff, to be honest with you, but I think I'll go back to something I've already said. As it pertains to the FGC, that's what DSP is looking for. He's looking for a way to get in and get some admiration by trying to recreate or trying to copy or put his rendition on something that's already happened, which would be the Viscant or Viscant situation. But not just them. Broly Legs, Guilty, and what's his name? The dude who he fought on, well, you didn't fight him, but he fought him in Street Fighter, I should say, on the E-Series shit. Actually, if you give me a second, let me look that guy up real fast. All right, got it. Rob TV. That's who I was thinking of. Rob TV. And so on and so forth. Like, if you really look at all of the people that LTG has gone up against, right, or had his quote-unquote beef with online, it has elevated them or brought attention, at least, to what that situation was for a period of time. DSP is looking for that. And I honestly think, as it pertains to this challenge that yearly DSP is trying to get LTG in, as more time goes on, I think DSP realizes he's going to lose. If he can't get LTG to at least play one of the retro games and whatnot, so DSP can show his dominance, because that's really all DSP cares about. He doesn't care about the newer shit. Everything from Street Fighter, from Third Strike to Street Fighter 6, DSP don't care about, because he knows he can't beat him. The only thing he can really compete with him in is really just Super Turbo. If it was CVS 2, I don't know. I'm going to probably still give that advantage to DSP. I hate to do that. But then again, they're both pieces of shit, so I hate to give anybody any credit in this situation. But I would have to probably give the edge to that. So realistically, those two games maybe, and DSP is going to take the win on those. And if LTG sweeps him in everything else, it won't matter, because DSP will at least say he's got him in that. And then he's going to want to sit there and try to get LTG on a podcast and actually be able to talk to him and parlay, if you will. And LTG is not going to do that, because DSP is just not worth the trouble nor the time. There's nothing beneficial that's going to come out of that. On top of that, despite what you think of LTG, he basically still has motion in the FGC in a way that DSP don't. And that's what DSP is shooting for, to be honest. So I want you guys to think about what DSP is doing now. And this is the culmination, if you will, the accumulation of years upon years of LTG making demands and DSP trying to follow through on them. You know what I mean? Because you got to understand, DSP has nothing left. He has no real options, right? So that's why he leached off Kina Casino. Maybe he'll do the lol cow thing, maybe not. Maybe he'll go to Twitch. More than likely, he's going to go to Twitch. He kind of needs LTG. You really do, especially since LTG has movement, for better or worse, over on Twitch. If DSP goes back, then he thinks he can feed off of that and give himself some grounding. So I think what you're seeing is DSP trying to play the long game. and LTG's the prize. And win or lose, he thinks he's going to get something off of it. But we'll see. As for LTG being gay, I couldn't tell you. He definitely says sus shit and whatnot. I honestly think DSP is gay, but I think, or he definitely has incredibly strong homosexual tendencies. LTG definitely says sus shit, and maybe he is closet homosexual, maybe he's bi, whatever the case may be. Whatever. We'll hear what DSP's reasoning is, and we'll have a good laugh about it either which way. In any case, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Let's go ahead and move ahead positively on our situation. Here. Let's go ahead and throw the chessboard up. Holy shit. Both of these guys think they're really doing something anyway, so I'll go ahead and play into that. I'll humor them. Okay. Let's see here.
Oh, first.
Okay. Now this is an old cut by Diggs. Big ups to them. And we're here with Raw Phil. Big ups. So where are we at here, ladies and gentlemen? So, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Raw Phil. And big ups to Diggs for cutting this. Darksydephil speaks on LTG again. And LTG is gay. It's gay. This is from August 24th of 2025, the year of the snake. That's a thing. I don't smell no bacon cooking. Let's go ahead and get into that. And without further ado, here we go.
Oh, first contribution of the night has come in. We got our first tip of the night. It looks like it is $7 from PFC Deer and Headlights. Let's play an animation and see what's on PFC's mind tonight. Here we go. Okay. Thank you for getting the contribution started. He says, I have an honest question. Why does low-tier God keep saying you need to work on your sexy to consider a match in a fighting game? Because he's gay. I'm curious if a
Holy shit. Self-improvement. I want you to think about this. Self-improvement is gay. You know what I'm saying? You're a 40-something-year-old man. You should present yourself as such, right? If you're so successful, right? If you have all these trappings of success, you should present yourself as such. If you're going to come to another man, if you're going to go to another content creator, let's say it that way. If you're going to go to another content creator and be like, hey, I think we should do some content together, whatever, you should present yourself as such with the respectability that, hey, I'm bringing something to the table that I think is worth your time, which is worthwhile. Apparently, though, for everybody who does not have some type of realization or rationalization of that circumstance, you're gay. You're gay. You know what I'm saying? So for all of you who want to go on that being said sometime in the near future, big ups to them. If you want to do that and they're saying, well, maybe you should, maybe you should consider yourself make yourself presentable in some type of way, shape, or form, to show some respectability and whatnot, show that you have some self-respect for yourself, you have some pride in yourself, if you will. I try not to take it as them calling you gay. Just look at it as they're making an observation. Self-improvement is never a bad thing. But apparently, to DSP, you're gay. But then again, this is the same guy, being DSP, who when he was offered to go to Hogan's Bar, what was that, WrestleMania weekend, he thought that PPP was trying to proposition him for sex. He was going to get into that hotel, and DSP thought he'd be obligated to stripping down, and I guess PPP having his way with him. I guess, to pay for the trip. I mean, does that mean Andy would have free shots at Cat? You know what I'm saying? Because, remember, PPP was offering for Cat to come along as well. So how is that supposed to work, Phil? PPP gets you, Andy gets the wife? Is that what that situation was? Is that what the circumstances? I'm just asking. Because for one grown-ass man to sit there and say that shit, to be like, oh, I can't go on this trip with you because I'm not gay, that seems really weird. That seems like some really weird thinking. But this is Darksydephil, so make of that what you will.
fan of you would actually donate you $5,000 so that you could play him, I think you would wipe the floor with him. I've already explained, PFC, you're probably a newcomer, relatively newcomer to the streams, but here's the thing. The challenge that I had for LTG is he has to beat me in Street Fighter.
No, that's not what the challenge was. LTG asked him for the money for him to show up. DSP said, get the money from your audience. PPP and Andy, or Kino Casino, came in and said, we'll pay LTG the $5,000 and let him show up. DSP was like, well, wait a second. Why does he get a prize and I don't get a prize? That's not fair. On top of the fact that just goes to show that DSP can't win. Because if that was the case, if the payoff for getting LTG to the table is what DSP is really going for, it shouldn't matter that an outside element is willing to give LTG the money to pop up. But see, that's not what DSP wants. DSP wants him and LTG to show up to the table empty-handed and empty-pocketed, apparently. And DSP thinks he can get LTG to fight hard on that. He's trying to make this shit out like as it's a fight for pride, when LTG's not even on that type of time. He's on some other shit. So if DSP loses, he feels like, oh, well, I didn't put anything in it, so I don't have to worry about getting anything out of it. And he doesn't get anything out of it as well. But now we have some camaraderie. Now you have to parlay with me. And LTG is like, I'm not going to do that shit. You're not worth my time. So either you produce this money, or someone else wants to pay this money and make it happen. So I want you to think about it this way. DSP was more than content. He was advertising it. He encouraged it. That LTG's audience pay him the money for him to compete against DSP. But now that at that time, Kino Casino was willing to become the bank, if you will, right? And go ahead and front LTG the money to have him show up. Now all of a sudden DSP has all these things about, well, no, he has to beat me now. Oh, no, that should be a prize for whoever wins now. Oh, no. Why are you just going to give him money just to pop up? You're not giving me money to pop up. Well, maybe you shouldn't have fucked them over. Maybe you should have had a bit more forward thinking. And while you were with Kino Casino, you should have been like, hey guys, I'm thinking about challenging LTG to a match, but he's going to want money from me. Would you guys front that up? And everybody will get content out of it and we'll all make bank either which way. Oh, that's right. DSP, he's the mature adult with the business degree. But he apparently has no forward thinking whatsoever. He has no foresight. He has no long-term thinking. So he couldn't even think about conceiving that idea. It's funny how he wanted to go at fucking Review Tech USA. He wanted to have a good old go with that guy. But he didn't want to sit there and think, oh, well, some of these other people that I may have an issue with, or I may have a problem with, or I may be able to now finagle or parlay a situation, I can't seem to think about doing that now. You know what I'm saying? Did he think about wanting to talk to Justin or Max while he's with Kino Casino? No. Did he want to think about, I don't know, further trying to reach expand his reach, I should say, with guys in the FGC or other content creators on YouTube? No. He was so single-minded on suckling off Kino Casino that he couldn't think about anybody else until they eventually left him, or they weren't useful, whatever. And now he's basically begging everybody else for scraps. Something to think about.
If he wants to earn anything, not that he receives a payday and then he plays me and then he won't care if he wins or loses because he already got paid. There's no.
But see, it wouldn't matter anyway, because I honestly think that, like I said earlier, if they did play, LTG is going to whip him from everything from Street Fighter, from Third Strike up onwards. LTG is going to whip him in. The only stuff is the old shit, and LTG probably won't even play that. He's going to be like, hey, I think LTG has already spoken on that before. He doesn't play any of the old shit, meaning Super Turbo. So he's not going to care about any of that anyway. So he's going to more than likely just let DSP win just for the sake of it. And then beat him at everything else and then keep it moving. So either way, DSP is going to lose. But DSP doesn't care about that. He's just trying to get him to the table. He thinks he can go ahead and finagle or fucking a Gouty Jedi mind trick LTG once he gets him to the table, but he just needs to get him there. Or that's what he thinks anyway.
Point. You understand? There's literally no point to that at all. So why would I ever want to do that? The point is to beat him in a real competitive match where there's stakes, a reason for him to play well. If there's no reason for him to play well, he could just throw the match and take the bag and run away. So it would never happen. I would never raise money to pay the guy. If there was ever going to be money raised, it would be that would be the prize pot.
And see, now he's being greedy and now he's being stupid. Instead of going ahead and let Kino Casino pay the money and get LTG on stream and then make whatever happen, right? Instead of doing that, now DSP's gotten greedy and he's thinking, well, no. It should go to the winner now. and DSP's kind of hinted at, well, if LTG's getting $5,000, well, and they're going to sit there and make their content off of it anyway. Well, maybe they need to be like the detractors and they need to contribute. Maybe they need to make it worth my while too. He's kind of hinted at that, but he's not brave enough to say it because a coward's always going to be a coward. So now he thinks, oh, I'm just going to tell Kino Casino what they should do with their money. And truth be told, and this is what I think DSP's starting to come to the realization of, if Kino Casino pays LTG the money, basically Kino Casino wins. Because if LTG goes up there and just lets DSP win no matter what, takes his money and walk away, Kino Casino gets exactly what they want. They get to see DSP get humiliated. And DSP walks away with not even a punic victory. It's just an empty victory. It doesn't mean anything. Assholes like me will spend the next decade plus, or whatever, sitting there mocking that shit. And truth be told, it would be worse than the 4th place finish at EVO 2005. And I think somewhere down the line, DSP realizes that. If he can't get LTG to care, if Kino Casino is allowed to become the bank, everybody else will just continue to mock the shit out of him, and DSP will get nothing out of it, no matter what. Even if his fucking corral or herd of dents pay DSP a bunch of money, it won't mean anything. And he'll just look like a further laughingstock. It's another win that LTG didn't even have to lift a finger for, and he still got paid out for it. I think that's what scares him. And that's where this whole nonsense came from.
Me versus him, winner take all, loser, well.
And also, DSP's not taken seriously by anybody. Not me, not any of my peers or whatever, not any other detractor, troll, hater, critic. No one takes DSP seriously. He needs LTG to. He needs low tier guy to take him seriously. And LTG doesn't have a reason to. Not in the slightest. Not in the slightest. And it's funny too that DSP, not only is he sitting there watching LTG troll content, right? Big ups to all of them. But not only is DSP doing that, but now he's over there under, I think it's Lumix. Big ups to Lumix. He was under one of Lumix's videos, commenting and whatever. Actually, he's under 2 of them. There are 2 videos that he's under. One, Lumix pinned, and the second one, I don't think it's been pinned yet. Because it's only been up there for like a day or 2. Or no, it's only been up there for a few hours, maybe. At the time that I saw it, I should say. It's been a couple of days now. But, yeah, I don't think Lumix has pinned that comment yet. But it is confirmed to be DSP's channel. Like, once you click on the comment and you click on the name, it takes you right to DSP Reacts. So it's very clear that he's trying to get Wings of Redemption's attention, because Wings watches his trolls, right? Breaking Banquet, Lumix, so on and so forth. He watches those guys. So, Avery, so on and so forth. So it's very clear that he's trying to start some shit, or he's trying to get some rumblings going on with that. DSP's desperate. He's sitting here front face trying to tell everybody that he don't want no drama, doesn't want no problems, he just wants to make good content. But then you get situations like this, and then you get the fucking Cold War that he's essentially doing on the back end on these troll channels and their comment sections that try to drum up attention too. It's really interesting when you think about it. It's really pathetic though. It's really desperate, it's pathetic, it doesn't smell very good, but what do you expect? Like, what do you expect? I'm saying, from a two-faced individual to act very two-faced, or to maneuver, or to conduct themselves in such a way.
Is a loser, right? That's what it should be. But he's never going to do that. The reason that he says stuff like that is because he knows he cannot beat me at all. He is 100% convinced that I would smoke him. Yeah,
you're coping. You're coping. In the exchange that you've already had with him, I think he's only played LTG once, but he may have played him twice. I'm pretty sure I even played him once. And that was in Street Fighter 4. LTG beat him clean. Like, LTG beat his ass clean. You know what I mean? And you really think DSP's gotten better since then? I want you to really think about that before you answer. Do you really think DSP's gotten any better since then? Don't worry, I'll wait. As bad as LTG is, right? All the compilations and everything out there of him raging and rage quitting and all that bullshit, so on and so forth. You really think DSP can beat him? I want you to really think about that.
Okay? In any fighting game, and he knows it. Like, he's seen my gameplay. He knows that I'm a former EVO, either qualifier or champion.
Whoa. You weren't a champion of shit. Boy, you almost caught you lying. Well, you always lying, but I almost caught you being blatant with your lies. Go ahead, tell me again.
That I'm a former EVO, either qualifier or champion.
You're not an EVO champion of anything. To be honest with you, he's like I said, he's won or placed high at some qualifiers. That doesn't make you an Evo champion. Sorry, but not sorry. That does not make you an Evo champion. Why are we lying? Why are we lying? Oh my god, it's so pathetic.
He knows that old school, he can't touch me whatsoever. He knows that in Street Fighter 6 that I actually was doing quite well until I quit because I got bored of the game.
Yeah, right.
I was playing much better than him. I mean, he's still actively playing these games, and he still sucks. He still sucks. He still has entire streams where he just keeps rage quitting nonstop.
He's literally falling for the marketing scheme, and I love that because the LTG trolls already put out really good content, right? DSP sat there and got his head completely blown the fuck up thinking, oh, I can beat him because his opponent, I could probably beat him, or I can emulate what they do. He's sitting there watching LTG like troll compilations, right? Using that as I guess reconnaissance, right? Like he thinks he's doing his homework and shit, trying to figure out what LTG's weaknesses are, and he thinks he's gonna be able to beat him. Off that, he would have a rude awakening to come about after the fact if he really was able if he really had a chance, I should say, to face LTG in a match, especially Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter 6, Street Fighter 4, Third Strike. No, not at all. Especially not in long sets. That's another thing too. Especially not in long sets. Not at all. Holy fuck, bro. Well, we'll see. I mean, let him fall for the marketing scheme. That's what he's good for.
Stop. He sucks at fighting games. But this is the only thing people will tune in to watch him play. He recently, apparently, he's dabbled in other things. People have told me, did you see him play Resident Evil? I said, no. And then someone sent me a clip. Oh, my God. You think you make fun of me playing fucking video games? This fucking guy, he rage quit Resident Evil. It's a single-player game.
I know he's not talking about rage quitting single-player games. There are literal fucking... Not only are there compiled lists of games that he's quit, how many hours he put in before he quit, as well as the video evidence to coincide with it. I know he's not talking. But whatever. Semantics. You know what I'm saying? Semantics. Fucking crazy.
And he rage quit.
You know what that is? It's that lol hypocrisy bullshit that you get from people like Wings of Redemption, who went around for years calling people high school dropouts and all this bullshit, and he's literally a high school dropout himself. Ask him why he dropped out of high school, by the way. Ask him the next time you guys are over there, if you guys happen to show up to his streams or he's over there on lol Live. Ask his ass why he dropped out of high school. Ask him. And wait, you'd be surprised what it is. Here, I'll fucking tell you just to be on the, just because I know Wings will lie to you, more than likely, or he'll give you some fucking bullshit answer to justify himself. Allegedly, it was because he was being bullied. More than likely for his weight, because he's always been big. He said that's his reason for giving up on his schooling. And his mom let him? To be honest with you, that's the thing that really don't make no sense. And if that was the case, that makes her a neglectful parent. But then again, being that one son is a drug addict, the other one is basically the town bicycle, so she didn't get it from her mama. And Wings himself is just a complete and utter disappointment piece of shit. Maybe that all lines up. Maybe that makes sense. Maybe she didn't care. I don't know. But it's funny how, yet again, Wings would run around and say that shit. He would say that, oh, take your ass to college, do this, that, and the third, get an education. And he doesn't even have one himself. Imagine that. But he had no problem for years going around using that as an insult and thought he could get over. Crazy, bro. Crazy, bro.
He actually, like, he's dying to a zombie. He'll go to dashboard on PlayStation 5 because he doesn't want to see the death animation. He can't stand it. Anyway, so, yeah, there's absolutely no chance that this match will ever happen because he knows that I'm going to beat him. So what he does is he pulls out insane excuses. Well, I'm only going to play you if you work on your sexy, if you can bench or squat a certain amount of weight, if you can do this or do that. What are you talking about?
Now remember, he's talking this shit in fucking August. August 24th, he's talking this bullshit about. What you talking about? All these insane requests and this, that, and the third. You mean things that you actually did. Hey, you need to work on your stream layout. That's what DSP did. Hey, you need to work on the way you dress and how you present yourself. He kind of, whatever. There was that. Oh, well, hey, you need to go ahead and get yourself physically in a better situation. In September, he's talking about having an adjustable weight set or whatever. And he's saying that he's actually doing shit. And he's doing these weird ass flex poses looking like a fucking weirdo and whatever, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the gym bros on the detractor side that are out there laughing their asses off and shit on that. I don't know if Jaha has spoken on it, but if it's been said to him, I'm sure he has something funny to say about it either which way. So now he's doing that nonsense. He's literally doing everything LTG is telling him to. No guarantee that any of this will pan out into anything, but he's still feeling the need to do it. Does that right there remind you guys of something? It should. If you go back to, it was I want to tell you it was the OP seats / spawn seat saga. It's that situation where he was sitting there promoting a product before he even got it. And then some good Samaritans told the company about who he was, and they pulled the sponsorship. But DSP ain't been promoting it for a couple of days, maybe even a week at that point. I want to tell you it was a few days before the deal was even locked in. Fucking crazy, bro. Or I'll give you something a little bit more recent. The Sir Moist Critical situation, where Moist Critical basically says, hey man, I think you beg a little too much and whatever. And DSP's like, okay, well, you're right. I'll cut back. Will you invite me on your podcast now? What? Like, he didn't give you an ultimatum. He gave his opinion. He didn't offer you anything for if you stopped or if you tried to mitigate it. He never really stopped. He didn't offer you anything. You know what I'm saying? You're not a dog that, he taught you a trick and then he gives you a treat after the fact. That's not how that works. But that's how DSP acts. He's incredibly reward driven, right? He doesn't look at self-improvement, nor does he believe in it. He only looks at the reward that's after the fact. Oh, you tell me do something? Okay. So now where's my treat? Where's my prize? You know what I'm saying? Where's my reward at the end of it? Life is more than that. It's a lot more than that. It's not always about the destination. It's about the journey. But if you're very small-minded, you wouldn't know that. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't know that.
He says he doesn't need money, then he demands thousands of dollars to play me. Then you need the money. If you didn't need the money, you'd actually have another reason why. You'd be like, oh, well, this or that.
If that's the case, then you don't need the money then, because you demand people to play these games, to pay you to play these games, right? And to keep the playthroughs going. If you're making so much, if you're good now, if you're in a really great place where you can afford things to better your surroundings, to better your way of life for yourself and your wife and your fucking cat son and whatever, despite the fact you can't get a blood test for Jasper to not even save his life, whatever, then why are you so demanding about money? I don't want to hear shit about this is your job or whatever. If you're putting out a quality product, people will pay for it. So yet again, explain to me, why do you demand money from these dens to do something that you're already going to be doing anyway? But you're going to sit there and shit on him because he does want to be compensated for his time. When DSP is damn near demanding, or he's getting to the point to, where he's demanding a certain amount of money just to start playthroughs, let alone even more money to continue playing them. Something to think about.
If he would just be honest with himself and be like, it doesn't benefit me because I know I can't beat him. I know I cannot.
He already told you it doesn't really benefit him unless you cough up the money. You're not worth his time. But see, DSP he doesn't want to propagate that, because then that makes him seem useless, because he is useless. So now he has to say, oh, well, he broke as fuck. And he can't beat me. So he broke, he can't beat me. He's just useless. He's just another fucking bum in the ghetto and whatnot, trying to do whatever he can to carve out an existence for himself. If that's the case, then why do you keep chasing him? If he's so beneath you, right, then why are you spending so much time on this? You're not doing it for entertainment purposes. You clearly need him to come to the table. Hence the reason why you keep pursuing him. Something to think about.
I beat him, so I'll never earn any money doing it, and I don't get any clout for losing. I know, because I played Jay Snyder Vizant years ago. He crushed my fucking nuts, publicly humiliated me, and since then I've been the laughing stock of the internet. I got a fake view bots to make it look like I have people.
I mean, you got punked at multiple tournaments and shit. You know what I'm saying? You got punked and ran to the bathroom, and then you got pursued out of the parking lot. You got on your hands and knees, said that you were an alcoholic. Please don't beat me up because I'm an alcoholic and I can't control myself. And truth be told, Jaha should have kicked your fucking jaw. He should have dislocated your jaw right then and there. Well, actually, Mike Watson should have fucking dislocated your jaw. Jaha should have just finished the job on you. And they both showed you mercy. And what did DSP take from that situation? Let me not go ahead and fuck around with the FGC no more. At least not in person. Let me leave. but then I'm just going to talk shit on my YouTube channel. And that's exactly what he did. He didn't learn anything from it. And truth be told, if he had gotten the ass whooping, I honestly think he would have still talked shit online. He just wouldn't have done it to the FGC. So even an ass whooping might not have actually changed his behavior. You know what I'm saying? Like he wouldn't, not in a way that he would have grown from, if you will. And that makes a lot of sense given his penchant for how he behaves and whatever. It actually kind of makes a lot more sense when you think about it, which is wild. It's fucking wild. You know what I'm saying? But then again, I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Mike Watson and John could have just beaten his ass, and maybe, just maybe, DSP would have just exited the FGC no matter what. But maybe he would have been far more timid in talking his shit once he got to YouTube. Maybe he wouldn't act the way he acts now. Maybe. Because DSP hasn't faced any real consequences. Not any consequences, I should say, that he can't hide from. Hence the reason why he only leaves his house once a week, right? If even that. It may be only once a month for all we know. He may just leave to get his hair cut and maybe a doctor's appointment or some shit, and that's it. And everything else is just DoorDash to the house. I've been preaching that for a minute. And all the food and all the groceries and everything is more than likely just being DoorDash. And it probably has been since the pandemic, since 2020. Who could say? Who could say? And DSP want to talk about people who ain't humiliated him. There's plenty of guys in the FGC who ain't sat there and run his pockets, who ain't turned him into the fucking walking ATM that he's known for. But he isn't going to talk about that. And then as it pertains to the Jay Snyder situation, the Viscant situation, dude, there could have been real money that could have been made off that situation. And it didn't happen because that's not what Jay wanted. He wanted to prove a point, which he did, and he wanted to move on. It's LTG who keeps bitching and complaining about that bullshit. We'll talk about that in another video, because there's a bunch of like LTG lore out there that I'd like to speak about. There's fascinating shit out there. Just absolutely fascinating stuff.
Watching my content, I have to have fake gifted subs to make it look like I have 3,000 paid subs when I don't. I have to do all these fake things to look like I'm successful, because
stuff that DSP does himself, like, you know, saying that certain phantom tips came in when there's really no proof of it, and because only he gets to see the tip, he was the only one who gets to see the tip, and he's the one who initiates the pop-up for it. There's no proof that any of it happened unless he says so. Oh, that's right. DSP admitted that. When he gets tipped, you don't know what he actually makes. He only knows what you only know what he tells you. So, but he has the nerve to call somebody else out for faking some shit when both of you guys are frauds under reasonable circumstances.
because that's the shtick. That's his shtick, is that he is a successful dude. He's not. He's a rube. He's a fake.
So are you. You're a and on top of that, you're a poser. So not only are you a fake and a fraud, but you're a poser as well. So you guys are right there.
Everyone knows this who turns into his content. You can tell 5 seconds in.
This is literally projection. It's really good. It's really, really good.
But that's just it. Like, he has to keep that going. So if he plays me, he knows he can't win. So he can't win the money, and he gets no clout from losing. So there you go. He's never going to do it. Would he do it if he got paid $5,000? Yeah, because then he doesn't have to win. He'd just say, oh, thanks for $5,000. He would throw the match. It would be the most crappy thing you've ever seen because he won't even play. And then he'll walk away and with $5,000. What's the point of that?
Well, see, you're not a very good trash talker anyway. So what are you trying to talk? Like, what exactly are you trying to make this out to be? Like, are you guys going to have, like, open mics to each other and shit where you guys talk shit to each other? Like, is that the thing? You barely were willing to do that with Brian. And even then, Brian threw light shots at you, light jabs. I mean, super light. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like fucking Downy fabric softener fucking light. And you swore up and down that he ain't sat there and damn near bisected you. So let's not act like you can even compete with LTG on that level. So what exactly are you expecting out of this? Whatever spectacle, WrestleMania 3 type bullshit you got going on in your head, WrestleMania 4, it's not going to be that. This isn't the Ultimate Warrior versus fucking Hulk Hogan. You need to calm the fuck down, sir. This is not what this situation is going to be. This isn't The Rock and Hogan. You know what I'm saying? This isn't Austin and Shawn Michaels. Like, this is none of that. Like, in his head, he has to think this is some crazy WrestleMania type moment. And that's obvious because he thinks they can somehow crush the numbers of Evo, which is absolutely retarded to say something like that. So Just gives you an idea of his delusion. But whatever it takes to put one hoof in front of the other, whatever it takes to make him feel like he's not the problem, right? That he's not the coward, that he's not the failure in the situation, when he's all of those things and some. Crazy, bro. Crazy work. Crazy work.
Then who's the winner? He is, because he got money and everyone else got screwed. So, you know, it's never going to happen. It's not that he's not. Let me put it this way. It's not that he's stupid. He's not. He's smart about the way he's doing it, because he's portraying this air of arrogance and like, oh, I'm so successful and all of this. But in truth, we all know the truth is that the reason he won't do it is because he can't win. So instead, he has to set up everything as a roadblock, every excuse.
But it's not a roadblock, though. You're the one now that's literally trying to cuck him. Not to say that that's actually the case. Let's not say cucking. Let's use another. Let's not say cucking, because that would almost imply that he has some real say so that people would give a fuck about. You're literally trying to derail him. You're trying and failing miserably, I'm sure. But you're trying to actually derail him from getting the money. There's clearly people who are willing to pay LTG to show up. And you're the one now that's trying to protest over that. If he can't beat you, then what do you care? Oh, well, I need him to care. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit at all. If the money isn't paid to him to show up, his appearance fee, if you will, he still don't care. So either give him the money, show up, get your fucking weak ass limp dick fucking victory off this shit, and let him go back to whatever the fuck he's doing, Section 8 or wherever the hell you say he's at. Let him go back to that bullshit and keep it pushing. Or you're going to keep chasing this guy who you're literally saying is a Section 8 bum. You're going to keep chasing him year after year after year. If he's really useless, if he's really worthless, why are you investing so much time into doing this, knowing that the results aren't going to be any different? And now that there's a group of people who are willing to invest in this, now you're trying to block them. Why? You get what you want. And then here's the crazier part. Let's say LTG comes up there half-stepping and he still beats DSP. And then he still says, I don't give a shit. Then what? So now DSP played his best. He lost. LTG said, I didn't really give a fuck. I only half-assed it. I still don't give a shit. I got my money. I'm out of here. Now DSP got to go back to his fucking dents and be like, oh, well, and then what? Oh, well, I wasn't really trying either. I didn't think he was going to take me seriously. So I just went ahead and did it too. So now you're part of the problem. If you knew that he wasn't going to play seriously, then why didn't you play as hard as you could? Oh, well, I knew he wasn't going to respect me on that level, so I didn't bother with it. So you chased him for multiple years, trying to beg, plead, try to badger him, try to goat him into this shit. You finally get him there, and you wasted not only his time, but your own. You know what that is, ladies and gentlemen? That's what fucking Review Tech USA did when he went up on DSP's little 666 podcast, whatever the fuck, over the Discord leaks. Review Tech USA didn't really hurt nobody but himself. He wasted his time and the people that are affiliated with him. So all those detractors that are cool with Rich or whatever, he ain't made all them look stupid. Rich ain't made himself look stupid. And the audience that he's been basically trying to use to hype himself up to say, oh yeah, if I get a chance to talk DSP, I'm going to ask him the hard questions. He didn't do any of that. He talked some dumb shit about a mic. And some other bullshit to try to get himself over. And failed miserably. Make of that what you will.
Use in the book, right? Yeah. What does having to do squats have to do with playing a video game? Zero, right? That'll be like, you know, he challenges me to a workout challenge, and I say, okay, LTG, but only if you beat me in Street Fighter first. But the challenge is to see who's better at working out. I don't care. You've got to beat me at Street Fighter first.
But everybody already knows LTG is better than you, though, and you know that, and that's what you're fighting against. That's why he keeps this narrative going or whatnot. He's trying to change public opinion, and he can't. He can't. And even if he's using LTG troll content, that still doesn't change anything. You know what I'm saying? It's funny content. It gets more eyes on their content, so big ups to them. But that doesn't change the overall consensus. It doesn't mean anything. You're literally going to make his audience even stronger and even more emboldened by keep doing what you're doing. But you're stupid and you don't have any other options or anything. You don't have any other prospects. So that's why you keep doing what you're doing.
Then we could do the workout challenge.
And then he's talking about a workout challenge. And the funny thing is, this is crazy. This is really fucking crazy. The reality is LTG is telling him all this for DSP's benefit. None of this shit benefits LTG. Not in the slightest. This doesn't help him. This doesn't further his cause or his brand or his name or nothing. This is all stuff literally for DSP's benefit. But because DSP is such a sick little monkey, he automatically assumes that if someone makes a demand of him, they have to have something that's going to benefit them on the back end. That's what kind of scumbag he is. That's why DSP don't do shit for nobody. Unless he can benefit from it. Unless he can come out as the winner. Unless he can come out looking liked or respected or whatever. And because of that, he automatically assumes everybody else is like that too. That's wild. That's fucking wild. So there's a reason why every person that's ever been in DSP's vicinity, they don't like him or they don't trust him. Unless you're dead. Unless you're just straight retarded and you can't tell the difference. But for everybody else, there's a reason why he can't hold on to friends. He can't hold on to acquaintances. It's the reason why no one will talk to him. It's the reason why no one will deal with him. He ain't sat there and tried to suck up to those guys in the FGC for years, and he hasn't been able to get any of those guys to talk to him. They'll beat his ass up. You know what I'm saying? They'll throw 10 matches at him and beat his ass up and then move on with their day. But no one really wants to interact with him. You know what I'm saying? No one really wants to deal with him. Think about that. Think about you being relegated to that of, I guess, let's go with this. You're an old dog and they don't want to take you out back and shoot you yet, but no one really wants to deal with you either. So they, every once in a while, they toss the ball at you. You know, maybe you go get it, maybe you don't, and whatnot, and no one really cares. You know what I'm saying? They just throw a ball at you, they pass you a bone every once in a while out of pity. You know what I'm saying? Because you're really not wasting anybody's time but your own. You're just there. You merely exist. Think about that. Think about being treated like that. And then look at how everybody treats DSP. Even his family at this point. Which you would think would hurt. But if you're lying to yourself about every little damn thing, you can spin reality any way you see fit to make yourself feel better. You can face whatever you want when you already have a barrier in front of you with the image that you already want to see. Who cares what other people think, right? And if he didn't care about what other people think, why is he on Detractor Twitter? Why is he on the farms? Why is he watching Detractor content? If he don't care, why would you put yourself through all that? Why are you over there watching other lol cows and you're watching their troll content? Why are you doing that? I'll wait.
See, when you reverse it, it doesn't make sense. When you reverse it, you're like, what the fuck does that? Why would you do that? No, why would I? Now that's ridiculous. Someone says call him the N-word. First of all, you get a nice ban for even suggesting.
That's hilarious because I remember saying that in the video. Well, it's probably a while ago now, but I remember saying that in a video. Why not? You might as well. It's clear that you don't give a fuck. And it's clear that you're trying to do whatever you can to rile his ass up. Just go ahead and say it. You're already known as a racist bigot anyway. So who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Everybody already knows that's how you feel. So you might as well go ahead and say it. That Negro won't do what you want. You know what I'm saying? That boy won't do what you want. So go ahead and just go ahead and throw it out there. What's the worst that can happen? Every Detractor video has fucking N-word and fucking capital letters and that's it? You don't leave your house anyway. Who gives a fuck? You don't have any black friends or nothing like that. So what are you worried about? Remember? You had had Brian on the porch for a while. He was never good enough to come in the house. So what are you worried about? Whatever. Do you?
Nah, no, I don't have those thoughts in my head whatsoever.
Yeah, but yet, you know what I'm saying? Every time a black person comes on the screen, though, we're chewing our hooves for some reason or whatnot, or we always have some crazy shit about them being criminals or whatever, but he ain't racist though. You know what I'm saying? He isn't racist though. The fact that you have people on this side of the fence, some people who are willing to say that is wild to me. But if, you know, it's their opinion, they're entitled to it. But that's wild. That's some wild ass shit. Fucking A.
No, why would I? Now that's ridiculous. Someone says call him the N-word. First of all, you get a nice ban for even suggesting that. No, I don't have those thoughts in my head whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think of him like that.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think that LTG is one of the most egotistical, cocky, narcissistic guys, and he knows that it's profitable to do it. That's his ego. That is his shtick. He is the Black Johnny Bravo.
We're not racist, but for his first identifiable characteristic is he's black. Couldn't just say, oh, he's a knockoff Johnny Bravo or anything. No, he's black. Black as night. And he's a knockoff Johnny Bravo. All right, man. If you have to put a quote-unquote descriptor in front of all that, that says a whole lot more about you than the actual situation. But whatever you're comfortable with, do what you got to do.
He is the guy who's like so oozing confidence about himself, but that's what some people like to see and do support him. It's not everyone, but some people do support him for that, so he has to keep doing it. You see, if he ever would have dropped that facade and actually be a normal person on camera, no one would like him, and he would...
What do you know about being normal, and what do you know about being liked? Just asking. What the fuck does Darksydephil, Phil Burnell, DSP, Dark Geppetto know anything about being normal, and what the fuck does he know about being liked?
Never get any money. So he has to do what pays his bills because he's desperate. I mean, he's paying child support. He's doing all these crazy things. He's in debt.
So are you. What are you talking about? You're off of a bankruptcy and a foreclosure while you're speed running to your next one. The fuck are you talking about?
Basically in the debt situation similar to what I was in. Seriously, he is. He's in a debt situation very close to what I was in when
he's 121,000 in debt, more or less. You were over $500,000. I think there's a big difference. Sorry. I mean, maybe you can't count. I don't know. Maybe the nuns at that Catholic school, they failed you, whatever. But yeah, I think there's a big difference between what you've got going and what he's got going. He probably has more of the moral failures, being that there's a child involved. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it is what it is. He likes to say that he's the new age black, and truth be told, he's just another statistic in that of being a fucking neglectful fucking bum-ass father. And it's not the fact that he's black for that. There are plenty of fathers, of plenty of backgrounds, of plenty of colored, of plenty of fucking creed and whatnot who follow into that. Not just the black folk. You know what I'm saying? You can find a failed father despite what your skin color or background is. Which, rich or poor, whatever. He's just part of that statistic. And he know it. The fact that he kept that secret for this long is what surprises me more than anything, to be honest with you.
Had to go through bankruptcy. So maybe that's what he has to do to get out, to get to a point where he doesn't have to be trapped in that loop and that cycle anymore. So anyway, has nothing to do with his skin color whatsoever.
Even though we just called him the Black Johnny Bravo, though. But it doesn't have shit to do with his skin color. Keep that in mind.
Seriously, nothing to do with that at all. Zero.
Sometimes
still like, Ideal Realism says, I know you're not going to play Mario Kart World anymore, but Mario Kart 8 Deluxe still hits hard even today. I didn't play it that much.
He was bad at Mario 8 too, so that doesn't really even matter.
I only played it a little bit when it launched. People didn't really like it on my streams, so I never really went back to it after a few streams. I remember liking Mario Kart 8, and the viewers didn't, so I dropped it and did other stuff. People were actually complaining to me about it. I was playing it too much.
Uh-huh. It's funny how that's the copy-paste for every playthrough that he enjoys that allegedly the audience didn't enjoy. Imagine that. It's not that they couldn't show up, show moral support the videos. No, you guys didn't give me any money on the stream, so you guys didn't like it. You guys didn't hit this goal, so clearly you must not like this game. I got you. But fuck everybody else who actually did, though. I roger that. So if you make you know what I'm saying, $145 out of 150. Oh, well, you guys must have not liked the playthrough, so that justifies me dropping it. Even though I really love this game, I think it has great graphics, I think it has this, I think it has that, but you guys won't support it, so I'm gonna have to. I have to do what's profitable. I have to give you guys what you want, and clearly you guys don't want this because if not, we hit the goal. That's damn near him verbatim, or verbatim.
Oh, let me do shout outs. I didn't even look here. So first of all, it was a $7 tip. We shouted that out. We have Euthanasia, who did a $5 super chat. That's our first super chat of the night. Good evening, Phil. I'm making good on my promise from earlier. LTG is a beta male and you are an alpha male. You're greater than LTG. Thanks. Why are you guys all bringing up LTG tonight? Where did this come from? Did something happen?
Because you clearly don't got shit to talk about.
It's weird because we haven't talked about him in a while. And all of a sudden, you guys are talking about him again. Yet I didn't bring him up. So,
I love that too. I love the coward's way of saying, oh, well, I didn't bring the person up, so, everything I'm saying, I'm just saying it in response to what you guys are saying. I have no malice or anything. Stop. If that was the case, you'd be like, hey, I don't have nothing to say about that situation. You let it go. You clearly want to talk about it, but you just want deniable plausibility, which is gay. Really, really fucking gay. And cowardly.
You guys bring him up and then, I'll answer. But to me, I'm only going to bring him up around Evo time. That's it. Because once a year, I'll challenge him. He'll bitch out like the cowardly yellow-bellied chicken he is. And then we move on. There's no point to beat the dead horse. We already know that he's a bitch.
But yet you're going to turn this into an anniversary thing. And I want you guys to take that in because that right there borrows from something else. You know that dumb shit that that fucking review tech likes to do? That fucking May 1st burst thing he was doing, which ended up getting commandeered by Gundam. Thank God for that, because Gundam's far more entertaining. But it's like that. DSP knows that there's an anniversary about his dumbass over multiple things, to be honest with you. Like, if you think about it, every month of the year, there's something monumentally stupid DSP's done in the past that you could literally mock and celebrate, but semantics. So now he's trying to go ahead and do that same thing with LTG. Most of you may have not thought about it that way, but that's really what he's trying to do. It's really wild. He's already being owned by a bunch of other people, so now he feels like he needs to try to own somebody. And LTG is not enough, so let me see if I can try to own Wings of Redemption through his trolls. Let me see if I can try to get some headway with that shit. Fucking wild. And yet again, as it pertains to the Wings thing, you're probably, maybe you're thinking this. So let's just go with the probably part. Maybe you guys are wondering, well, why is he targeting Wings? Why isn't he just going after Keem directly or going after Boogie? Because Wings is the weaker out of the three. If he can try to buck break Wings through his troll content, then he thinks he'll have ground. He'll be able to make some real ground with the other employee, being Boogie, later on down the line. It's not going to work the way he thinks it will, but that's DSP thinking that he's being cerebral, and he's furthest thing from it.
Bigger Dude did a €2 super chat. No, excuse me, a £2.
Well, I guess I could have said strategic, but I don't even think DSP could spell that, let alone does he know what that means. So we'll just go with the former.
Super chat. And he says, you're both put up $2.5 thousand. We don't take all, would you? No.
DSP can't. He doesn't have the capital. He doesn't have the capital to do it. And that's actually one of the things that DSP hasn't brought up, because he wants to avoid it. That he knows he doesn't have the liquidity to be able to fork that type of money over. And then if he loses, then he actually loses. He actually puts up stakes and he got literally nothing out of it. Or more importantly, he's at a deficit, which is funny because he don't want LTG to get no money. He wants to play for quote unquote pride, which is weird because DSP don't have pride, despite what people might tell you. He doesn't have any pride. So all right then, so throw up some money. So throw up half of the $5,000. Do that. But DSP won't do it because he can't do it. And if a troll throws up the money, right, if he puts it up into like escrow, for example, right, DSP is going to immediately sit there and say no to that. He's going to say give him the money directly. And then DSP is going to watch on the bet. I guarantee it. It's not like being at a cabinet in person in an arcade and you make a money match or you ask for a money match and you got to pay that money up front. DSP can easily run from LTG because he's not really in front of him. You know what I'm saying? So, and DSP rips off his audience already. So, what's stealing $2,500 from some debt mean about anything? He'll turn around and justify it anyway. Oh, well, LTG was going to con us, and I couldn't let that happen. Thanks for the contribution. It'll literally be something like that.
Oh, he won't put up any money. He doesn't have any. LTG doesn't have any money to put up. He's desperate. He's losing.
So are you. That's why you chased him for 3 years. So let's be very, very clear about the concept, the term, the definition of desperate. Let's be very, very clear about that.
Losing subs, supposedly. Again, people, of course, when I started talking.
So are you. So we can go ahead and check that off the list. He's desperate. Bing. He's losing subs. Bing. What do you got next for me?
About him, people sent me all this shit. They're like, oh, did you hear LTG lost like $10,000? And I was like, no. And you're like, yeah, he got charged back like $10,000. And I'm like, damn, that's fucked up.
Actually, it was $7,700. To be honest, at this particular point, there should be. If I haven't already done the video, I'm going to do it because that story is fascinating. Because he has to pay that money back to Kick. All right, here, let me give you guys a sneak preview, if you will. I'm not sure if the video will be out by the time you see this, but let's just say hypothetically. All right, LTG got himself. I don't know how he did this shit. I really don't know how he did this shit, but he has himself. He owes Kick. He calls it Emerald on his stream, but he owes Kick $7,700. Allegedly, somebody came in and dropped a bunch of gifted subs or memberships, whatever they call it over there, and then afterwards they tried to charge the shit back, and they hit LTG with the charge. They went ahead and hit him for it, saying that, hey, we think this shit's fraudulent, yada yada yada. You need to pay us his money back. They basically try to go through his bank to get the money. LTG gets a notification, calls the bank and stops that. So they end up putting the negative balance on his streams on Kick. So now every time he clocks in the Kick, he's basically slowly but surely trying to work this money off. Now, supposedly, this situation actually happened in like mid-end of July. You know what I'm saying? I'm currently talking to you guys in mid-end of September. So for the better part of almost 2 months, LTG's been streaming on Kick, and he hasn't made no money off of it because everything he generates goes right back to Kick. That shit is crazy. Crazy work. And then on top of that, and this is something LTG ain't thinking about. I am, but he's not. Once he pays that money back, they could very well demonetize him or deplatform him. LTG really needs to think about that. He hasn't already. So, wild shit, bro. Wild shit. Holy fuck. But anyway, as far as I know, the amount is $7,700. Is it actually 10? Does he owe another 2,300 on top of it? Maybe. But as of right now, that's what I'm told the actual total is.
That's legit fucked up. Like, to think that you've earned something and then they take it away. Because how much you want to bet he spent some of it and then he doesn't fucking have it? He never got paid for it. And like I said, apparently from what people are saying, he's up to his eyeballs in debt.
And here's the thing. This right here should give you a bit of an insight on how deep he is into the LTG content, which he's probably been watching and on and off for years, now that I think about it. But look at how committed he is to this shit. It's wild. He didn't give Wings this much attention. He didn't give fucking Review Tech USA this much attention. But he's been hyper focused on LTG for years. Fucking crazy.
And he has all this freaking child support he's paying constantly and everything. So basically he has he portrays himself forward as an affluent guy, but he's not. He's actually really tightly knit with his money. So he has no money to put up. He would never put up $2,500. He doesn't have any. You understand? His money's already spent.
Yet again, excuse me, then again, so is yours. So you're just as broke as he is, truth be told. Between that crippling debt that you're slowly but surely trying to speed yourself, you're trying to speed run yourself to, that crippling addiction with your alcohol, with your spending addiction, with your gotcha addiction, and God knows whatever else you got going on in that house, right? You're in no better situation than he is. Because if DSP really wanted it, he could be like, hey, I'll put up $2,500. Matter of fact, I'll go further than that. I'll put up $3 grand. All you have to do is come with the 2, and we can make this happen. But DSP won't do it because he knows you don't have the money to. He knows you don't have the money to. And then check this out. This is like forward thinking on my part, but so I don't necessarily believe that DSP's thinking about this himself. But let's, say hypothetical Pignosis, our favorite game. Let's say that DSP is like, well, if I have $2,500 to put up, well then people are going to sit there and say, well, wait, if you got $25 to bet against LTG, how are you going to sit there and demand more money from us for this playthrough or for that playthrough? That's not fair, and that's not right. So that right there kind of fucks up the begging scheme if you think about it. So it's fair. It's easier for him to call someone else broke while being broke yourself to keep the drones, to keep the fucking dents, the NPCs, keep giving you money stream after stream after stream. Because truth be told, why can't he reach out to Only Iced Coffee and be like, hey, I need you to fork up this money so I can get this ass clown to the table? He's not going to do that. I mean, I don't even know if Only Iced Coffee be willing to do it. But let's say if he was. Well, DSP can't do that because DSP is already behind the scenes talking to Only Iced Coffee anyway to try to keep the money coming. So it's a catch-22 if you think about it.
No, that's what I said. He's never going to win. He's never going to put any money up because he can't win. He knows he can't win. That's why he puts roadblocks and exceptions and things in the way.
You mean just like how you made all those excuses for all the people who wanted to interview you and you didn't want to do it until you felt like you had good cards or even high cards, and then all of a sudden you want to do collabs with people? You mean like that? Semantics.
The only way he'll play me is if he gets the money for free. And
it's really weird hearing a coward try to call another person a coward. I find that to be incredibly strange.
Doesn't have to do anything for it. Why would you pay him money to do nothing? Think about that.
I mean, your dent should really think about that when it comes to you, but yet again, semantics.
Are you simping for LTG? If that's the case, go ahead and go send him your money right now. People say he's live. Go to his stream and send him all your money. Simp for LTG. Go ahead. Because that's what you're asking to do if you want to.
Well, how are you going to sit there? Well, first of all, how do you even know that? You're saying that people say he's live. It's not like you don't follow him on every platform he's on anyway, so what the fuck are you talking about? You saw the notification just like everybody else did.
Pay this guy $5,000 to play me. You're simping for him.
He really is childlike. Not just the constant fucking teetering back and forth and shit starting to make me seasick. But motion sick, really. But the fact that once he gets a word into his vocabulary, it's like people have joked about this before on how he constantly uses it, right? I think honestly he's so repetitive with it, so he could try to burn it into his vocabulary. It's his only way of remembering it, if you will, which is something that you learn as a child. It's a natural instinct that children develop. He's very childlike, when it comes to that, I should say, or to that behavior. So you guys, if you really pay attention to him, you'll see more traits of that. It's stuff that he didn't grow out of. Maybe he can't grow out of it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's just something that, because of how the mental disadvantages he has, this is just all part of it. Whatever it may be. But it is really interesting to see him do that. And that's why it gets misused, right? It's like when you teach a child a new word and they try to kind of shoehorn it into everything until they actually build that understanding of how to use that word properly and so on and so forth, how it should be structured and so on and so forth. Stuff like that. Real wild situation for someone who's 40 plus years old to be going through all this.
No, he would not beat me in Street Fighter 6 if I practiced. Like, I'm not dumb. I wouldn't be like, hey, let's play right now. No, I haven't played Street Fighter 6 in months.
That's not an excuse. Wait a second. Wait. So you haven't played in months, but you wanted to play him during EVO, which was literally what? It was literally in this month, wasn't it? It was in August? Actually, hold on a second. It says August 24th. Okay, bet. All right, so check this out. Think about what he just said. Oh, you couldn't beat him even if you had time to practice. Oh, well, I wouldn't play him right now anyway. I would need time to practice. EVO was literally from August 1st to the 3rd. And he was calling him out leading up to EVO. So what the hell is he even talking about? If you think about what he's saying. Hey, let me bring that back. That's insane. I'm glad I actually kind of thought about that for a minute. Yet again, EVO was from Friday, August 1st to Sunday, August 3rd. Now think about what he says here.
No, he would not beat me in Street Fighter 6 if I practiced. Like, I'm not dumb. I wouldn't be like, hey, let's play right now. No, I haven't played Street Fighter 6 in months. If I practiced, I get back up to the level I was, and then I learn the new meta and I learn the new stuff. I beat him in Street Fighter 6. Dude, did you ever fucking watch any of what he was doing in the game?
Evo was literally, at the time of this, Evo was literally 21 days ago. And remember, he's been bitching and complaining about LTG playing him since what? Earlier that year? Or earlier this year, I should say. He can't beat him. And this right here, it proves it. He can't beat him. Because now he's sitting there saying, oh, well, I need time to prepare. I need to find out what the new meta is. I need to do this. I need to do that. Well, no. Excuse me. No. You've been challenging him for months, and you're saying you're not ready? But you said that if you guys played Evo weekend, it would break the internet. And now he's telling you 21 days after the fact. He's not even ready. Not even close. Make that make sense.
I had, what, 6, 7 characters at Master? And then I would get to Master, play a little, and say, you know what? I want to go back and challenge myself again. This guy could barely get like 2 characters to fucking Master.
Okay, so you have an advantage on him by 5 characters, and and think about what he's saying. And he's still too scared to play him. He still feels he's not prepared enough to play him. LTG, according to him, is struggling to get 2 people, or what did struggle, to get 2 characters to Master. He's saying he has 7. But he's the one who wants more time to actually play him. He's not ready. He's sitting here calling LTG a bitch, calling him broke, saying he doesn't have no money to pull up. Well, no, I'm right. No money to put up and pull up. But this ass clown is legitimately not ready. Think about that.
And then he would rage quit, and he had like a ton of fucking second, third accounts. Like, this guy's not good. Okay.
He's scared. He's scared. How is it that you supposedly have this much of an advantage and you still feel it's not enough? You want to know what he's scared of? He's scared of that puncher's chance. That's what it is. Let's just go ahead and placate the DSP and his bullshit superiority. He's scared of that puncher's chance. He's scared that his 7 characters really isn't enough. He's scared that, well, I'm watching all this troll content and this is kind of, blowing up my ego. But holy fuck, when I actually get in there, it's a different story, because everybody talks that hot shit until you get punched. Then all of a sudden, all that bullshit, all that bravado, whatever little game plan you may or may not have had, all that shit goes out the fucking window once you get hit. And that's what he's scared of. He loses a match. He loses 3 matches. Now he's down by 5. Then all of a sudden, now we're really scared. Now he's switching characters. Nothing's working. He can't make shit. He's scared. He can't beat him. And he knows he can't beat him. Because now we need all this extra time to prepare and all this bullshit. Talking all that bravado and whatever. Evo was just over 2.5 weeks ago at the time of this stream actually happened. And he's literally saying, I'm not ready. The meta hadn't changed that much in 21 days. So what you scared of? But you've been calling him out months leading up to Evo. So what was he really doing? I want you to think about this, ladies and gentlemen. If he's really out there, if he's really trained to go, then what's the problem? Right here, he's saying he's not. He's saying that he's not prepared. He's sitting here trying to put out the edict that he's not good, he's terrible at fighting games, he can't beat me. I have 7 characters in master rank. He only has 2, and he struggled to get there. Well, okay, well, if even if you did train to play him, Phil, you can't beat him. Well, I wouldn't challenge him right now. I need extra time. I need time to prepare. What for? DSP sitting here talking about on his fucking soapbox. He's on his soapbox. I'm sorry, trying to talk about he's trying to talk from a position of superiority, but now he's doubling down and saying I can't beat him. I don't have enough time to prepare. So when are you really trying to play him then? And that's why he needs to stress this shit out year after year after year. That's the reason why he's so desperate to get his ass locked in. He can't win. He can't win. And also, let's look at it the other side of the coin. It actually gives him a rather unique excuse. Oh, well, I would have trained if I had more time, but I do this full time, man. I'm a variety streamer. I have to put out all this content You know what I'm saying? Every day. So how much time would I really have to train? Oh, well, why don't you just train on your off time, Phil? I got to spend my time with my wife. Can't do that. I got a family, dude. You're the one who initiated this challenge, Phil. You're the one who chased it. I thought it'd be good for the internet. I thought you guys would want to see this. I thought his audience would want to see it. If you weren't prepared for this, Phil, then why'd you even bother? Why'd you waste our time, his time, this, that, and the third? Like, why'd you even do this if you knew you couldn't win? I can win if I had the time. And I don't have the time, okay? You know what? Fuck this. You're banned. And that's exactly how this shit would go down. And he knows it. He's scared. And that's what I've been telling you. I've been telling you that he's scared. He can't beat him. He thinks he can beat him. He wants people to believe he can beat him, but he can't beat him. And then not even on some Apollo Creed type shit where I won, but I didn't beat him. It's not even like that. DSP just can't beat him. And he knows he can't win. Deep down in his little piggy soul, he knows he can't win. This is literally just another example of the fucking DX chops, like what happened with Viscant. That's all this is. Hype all this bullshit up, and then when it happens, come up with some bullshit reason on why you can't play, and then try to go ahead and talk to LTG behind the scenes and be like, hey man, let's just go ahead and tell, you know, all of our trolls, fuck you and whatnot for thinking that they can control us to make us do the situation. I guarantee you that's what he's looking for. That's what he's looking for. And it's not going to happen. Not because LTG is thinking that far ahead. It's just it's not worth his time. I'm almost certain that's what he is. Because remember, the way DSP does anything is the way he does everything. And DSP is very good, like fucking weak battle rappers. He's very good at recycling shit. And that's all this is. He's trying to recreate a situation that he had already had with someone else and try to pass it off like it's something new.
Okay, enough of that. I really don't want to talk about him anymore. It's a waste of time. Thank you for the early support, guys. As you know, American Truck Sim streams are always awesome, meaning we always have a great time. We enjoy each other's company, right? And we have literally hit every support goal. So let's keep that going. That's why I keep Truck Sim in the rotation. It's been around for like 4 months, and I keep it in the rotation because it's always a great time. We all enjoy it, and we all have great interactions and conversation when I play it, and you guys support it. So if we hit that goal again tonight, it comes back next week. All right? That's how it works.
So I'll keep doing ways. Let me get this clear. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just a filthy, mentally ill detractor and shit. So let me get this straight. You guys want me to do this thing? You got to pay me. You guys want me to keep doing this thing? You got to keep paying me. You guys like this thing because you guys keep paying me to do it. So you guys need to keep paying me to do it so I can do it. So it's not about putting out quality content. It's not about him being passionate about everything or about anything, let alone everything. It's about, hey, keep giving me money to put out slop, and I'll keep giving you guys the slop because you guys pay me to put out the slop. But I'll be damned. I'll be damned if I'm going to let this Negro go ahead and demand $5 grand for me. We're not doing that. He has to do that shit pro bono. He has to ask his audience, to go ahead and kick that money up. I'm not doing it. How dare he? How dare he ask me, as the Caucasian white man, to throw this money up to this Negro? What the fuck's wrong with him? What the fuck's he doing demanding money from me in the first place? He needs to know his place. That's literally what DSP is saying. That's literally what DSP is saying. That's how he's putting it out there. I don't see him giving this energy to all these other guys. And don't get me wrong, he is in Wings' fucking DMs. He is in Boogie's DMs talking about, oh, now you guys need me, right? Now you guys aren't avoiding my messages anymore now that you need me. Well, I don't want to deal with y'all anymore. Go back to your boss, Keem, and then he can holler at me, and then maybe we can do something. That's really weird, man. It's really weird that he wants to put all these roadblocks and everything up against the black man. He ain't doing it up against the other white boys and shit. But then again, they're just employees, though. So he don't really want to deal with them anyway. I don't know. That seems kind of weird, bro. That seems kind of weird, bro. But whatever. It is what it is.
Okay.
You know, DSP, that historically... let me not even put that out. Let me not even put that out there. Let me go ahead and leave that alone, historically speaking. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not Italian, Phil. You're Polish, so you know what I'm saying. And last time I checked, Keem is Sicilian, if I remember correctly. So anyway.
Oh, it looks like I never changed the goal pop-up thing. Hold on. Let me change that right now. Because we have a new goal, the flight of beers. Our new goal for when we hit 30 goals is I'm going to try a flight of international beers.
Oh, I remember that. That's when that retard was literally he's literally retarded. Like, if you haven't seen this, you don't know. This idiot couldn't even pour out a can of beer. He fucked up pouring out a can of beer. The most basic shit. And he fucked it up. It's, oh my god. Oh my god. If I can find it, I'll see if I can edit it in so you can see what I'm talking about.
I guess we're going to see what it looks like here. Danish. It's a Danish beer. Denmark means Danish, I'm being told. All right. So, let's take a look. Ready? Elephant Pilsner from Denmark. Danish beer. Open it up. And it is foaming up right away. Oh, I just poured it all over my leg. It's all over my legs right now. That's delightful. I'm completely soaked in beer. That did not go well at all because it's a can. The bottles will pour. The cans don't pour. That was a huge mess. I am soaked in beer. I don't even know where to put it down where it's not going to make a mess. I have paper towels, but I didn't pull them out yet. Hold on one second. Well, let me dry my legs while I show you. This is Elephant Pilsner from Denmark, okay? And it does have a head on it. Look, it has a nice light, a lighter head there. Smells pretty good. I'd say it doesn't smell too bitter, at all. So, it's a Pilsner, right? Here's what it looks like. Okay, let's give it a taste. Wow, my legs are soaked. My floor is soaked. My chair is soaked. This is not good because now everything's going to smell like beer in here, which is definitely not good. It's a nice golden color, a little darker than that. Actually, I'd say more like a dark amber color. So it's actually not as light as I first thought it was when I was pouring it. Okay, let's give it a taste.
All right, yeah, I think I'll remember where this timestamp is. Fucking ridiculous that he did this shit.
Okay, so I'm updating that on both chat services. So now it'll say the right one. So we're already at 21. We did hit the goal earlier today for GTA 4. Let's hit the goal tonight for Truck Sim. Let's get up to 22. Let's get it going. Like I said, if we do well all week long, we could do it Thursday night before the marathon. Because this, for the record, and that you guys will like this, the late stream viewers will like this. When we do this DSP Tries It of the International Flight of Beers, it has to be the late stream. I'm not going to do it on the first stream when I have to eat dinner and everything in between. It's going to be late stream.
Why? Because when he does the marathons and shit, and when drinking's involved, you could damn near get him to take shots immediately. What's a little too? Was that beer going to be a little too heavy for his little piggy stomach? His little piggy tummy? It's going to bother him. The fuck? If you're having problems with your stomach while drinking, maybe you shouldn't drink. Maybe that's something you shouldn't be doing. Just saying. But then again, alcoholism has long-term problems that, you know, he's clearly not thinking about, being that he's a former alcoholic. So maybe he thinks some of those medical issues or conditions he's exempt from it. Maybe that's what he's thinking. I don't know, but wow, okay.
So you guys are going to get a special DSP Tries It. So the more you support now, the sooner you'll get DSP Tries It, the International Beer Taste Testing. Jade, I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm very glad that you're feeling better. Here we go. And here we are. Oh, that's not correct. That's correct. There we go. Okay. And I'm facing the right direction. Yes, I am. I have the camera reversed. Good stuff. All right, let's boot her up. Let's get started with tonight's truck sim. Let's go. Got my drink right here. We're going to open in a sec. I'm glad you're enjoying Suicode N2 Ideal Realism. More tomorrow. Continues on tomorrow's first stream. No one ever heard of Meerkat Mob. Nope.
That's literally a lie. That's legitimately a lie for multiple reasons. But for one, he's called Meerkat's name out before. Two, he watches that, DSP watches that being said. So he's one of the fucking hosts on the show. He's one of the founders of that show. So fuck you mean you've never heard that fucking name before. And you're a pathological liar, so why would I believe you anyway? Stop. Any detractor, troll, hater, or critic that that has any type of respectability, let alone who pulls views and whatnot, and in this whole situation in the vortex, DSP knows about. Trust me. Trust me. That's the most blatant of lies. Holy shit. Big up some Meerkat.
Never heard of it. Not at all. I don't hear about this stuff. I don't pay any attention to any of this crap.
Now we're going to bring that back, because now he's saying too much. He should have just let it go where it was at, but he can't. Because he's not convincing, so he has to make sure he sells you on the lie.
No one ever heard of Meerkat Mob. Nope. Never heard of it. Not at all. I don't hear about this stuff. I don't pay any attention to any of this crap. Any of this detractor crap or things that people say and do about me. I don't give a shit.
Who said he was a detractor? Uh-oh. Meerkat Mob could have been anything. It could have been a fucking show on the National Geographic Channel for all you know. Who said he was a detractor, Phil?
It doesn't affect me. Why do I care about them? Like, couldn't be less affected by the shit that they do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here we go again. So, here we go again, everyone. Ready? Let's start recording and I'll explain. Here we go. Hello, everyone. DSP here. Welcome back. It is time for my weekly session of American Truck Simulator right here on DSP Gaming. Now, once again,
God, dog, he's fake as shit. I never liked the whole YouTube mode thing and whatnot. I get the meme, and it's funny for what it is, but it really just displays how two-faced he is. To be honest with you, and that's really fucking sad. But it is what it is. All right, so big ups to Raw Phil. Man, the fact that DSP has sat there and lied like that is crazy, son. All right, well, since he's drinking, let's go ahead and put this up here for the nightcap. All right, so all right, let's go ahead and let's close this out. Let me give you guys final thoughts, and I'll have you guys let you guys be on your way. Holy shit, holy shit! Like I said, yet again, let me make sure I'm very clear about this. Certainly, detractors, trolls, haters, and critics have been making fun of DSP, his setup, how he dresses, his physique, if you want to call it that, fucking slug. But they've been directly taking shots at him for years. You know what I'm saying? For a number of years. The fact that, for whatever reason, he's become more receptive to LTG saying it makes a lot more sense, I think, in that he respects LTG, clearly. I mean, you know, lusting for him and all that other shit aside, you know, his fucking song that he made for LTG and all that bullshit. He respects LTG, and he's desperate to have that respect. He's desperate to be acknowledged. In a lot of ways, and how Wings was desperate to have DSP's respect and to be acknowledged all those years ago. But so on and so forth. But I think that's really the reason why you're seeing all this. And make no mistake, it is because of LTG. Yes, detractors, trolls, haters, and critics laid down the groundwork. I'm not taking that away from anybody, nor could I. But the actual trigger is LTG, most certainly. All of that accumulated to up to what LTG said, which has led to what it is now. So you very much are seeing the fruits of your labor. You know what I'm saying? You can see how his heart has been hardened to all of that criticism, and LTG is what tipped his ass over. So you're very much seeing your work grow, if you will. You know what I'm saying? You very much are going to get you're literally getting to reap everything that you've all gotten to sow. So I don't think you guys should take too much of anything and who gets credit for what or whatever. I think the reality is everything, it was all an accumulation. And so you're seeing all of that in real time. As it pertains to LTG being gay, that's just DSP basically. That's projection, basically. That's how I take it. It's really nothing more than that. It's kind of lame, to be honest with you. If DSP really wanted this to happen, he would throw up. He'd be at least willing to throw up half the money, or he wouldn't block Kino Casino from throwing the money up. Think about all the quote unquote roadblocks that supposedly LTG has put out there to prevent this from happening, and then look at what DSP's doing. Look at how he's going out of his way to do everything he can to impede upon this actually being a thing. Who's really scared here? Who's the one who really can't win? Who's the one who really doesn't have a chance? And I'm hoping up to this particular point, at least, you don't have to agree with me, but at least you see my perspective. DSP can't win, and he knows he can't win. And the fact that he sat there and made the comment that, oh, well, I need time to train. I need time to prepare. I can't just play him right now. I need time to get myself together. Already shows that he can't win. It's not that, oh, LTG won't ever do it, right? Because that's clearly a thing. But it's very clear that DSP's banking on that. Because DSP can't beat him. Just like what happened with that Viscant situation. Talk about, oh, I'll fight you for real. And if it's to the death, we got to sign this contract saying that the other person won't, or their families won't hold them responsible and all that other bullshit. If you look at it, it's no different than that Viscant situation. If it ever was to happen, DSP will just bitch out at the end. Pure and simple. Basic mathematics. The way DSP does anything is the way he does everything. I think that's really his only way out. And the only difference is, with the Viscant situation, he thought if he could get Viscant to buy into that, they would have to share the hate. So it's not just, oh, DSP is the bad guy, he looks like the fucking retard. They both have to share it. Viscant was like, yeah, I'm done with you. If you're not really trying to get down, then I'm done with you. I'm not gonna lay down with you. LTG is already way ahead of that curve and be like, yo, I'm just not gonna deal with you unless the money's there. So no matter what, you know what I'm saying? And that situation with Viscant was what, 20 years ago? Whatever the case may be? Or at least almost 20 years ago. And now, damn near 20 years later, DSP's trying to do the shit with LTG. You shouldn't be surprised and whatnot. The way DSP does anything is the way he does everything. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys for the next one of these, whenever that may be. Hopefully sooner than later. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Snort Report. This has been DSP News. Always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. Oh, yes! A GTG Network and Productions. For the Snort Report, as well as Hard Snorts Gin and Tonic, Tim Snortons, as well as SnortBucks Coffee Company, the best beverage company. I've been your host / anchor, GTG, and I'm signing off. Take care of yourselves, people. Take care of yourselves. Later.
Stomping anybody, so make your choice right.
Select to make your first pick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Choose and pick the best one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Select to make your first pick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Choose and pick the best one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.